3, 2, 1. Hey friends, Janky here, and welcome back to the lab. I hope you guys are excited to be back once again to the, well, I guess it's kind of the first official lab of the week. We kind of did like a pseudo lab with Emmy on Tuesday, but yeah, I'm back. I'm back with the old standard Janky's lab format with a sweet game for you guys. Today we are playing Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 2. So, let me go ahead and go into phase 1 introduction and tell you guys a bit about it. So, Bendy and the Ink Machine is a game made by TheMeatly games. It is about an animator who gets this invitation from like an old colleague to come back to the old animation studio. He has something to show him, and it's strange and it's weird, but you go back anyway, and it's this. You find that the studio is just like ruined, and it's this jump scare horror game that's all about what you find in your old studio, and it seems like your old rubber hose creation Bendy has come to life and is out seeking vengeance or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting. It's intriguing, if you will, and I am playing this game because TheMeatly sent me an email. They were just like, "You want to play Chapter 2?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I actually played Chapter 1 a while back, not in a video, obviously, but just on my own. And so they sent me a key, and I was just like, "Why not? I'll do a Janky's lab on it." So here we are. So without further ado, let's move on into Stage 2. Phase 2 tutorial. Although I will just, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I don't want a new game. I don't want a new game. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on, sorry guys. Let's move into phase 2, tutorial. So for those of you who did not see or play the original first chapter of Bendy and the Ink Machine, I kind of described it already, but basically what happens is you come back to the old animation studio, everything's weird, there's like a gutted out animatronic, the cardboard cutouts of Bendy seem to be like following you around, and then you turn on this thing that's called the Ink Machine, and ink starts leaking from the walls, and this like horrible, like half melted version of Bendy shows up, and you don't know what to do, and you try to run out, and then the floor collapses on you, so now you're like deep within the bowels of the studio for this, and gosh, your animator buddy got into some weird stuff after you left, apparently. And that's sort of what we're discovering now. All the weird stuff that had been gotten up to. Yay. I'm excited. He will set us free. Who will set you free? I'm concerned. Should I be drinking that? I feel like I shouldn't drink that. That looks gross. That's the sound of horror. And that door doesn't really exist. More coffins. Like, can I open these? You know what? It's probably better that I don't. It's probably better that I do not open those, because that could be horrifying. I'm trying to figure out exactly where to cut off the tutorial here, because I don't know how long, since there's not really an actual tutorial here. Is this ink? Oh, someone's gonna kill me in here. I'm gonna get murdered in here. Oh god. Oh shit. That was probably like one of the former animators, and now they're like some horrible death ink monster. I don't even know. Like possessed by ink or something, I don't know. That makes sense, right? Oh look, there's a switch. I think I need it here in just a moment. Great. Sweet. Awesome. Great. Well, there's the one switch back here. I just keep expecting like these bendy cutouts to do something. God, I don't want to have to deal with these. So here's the thing. Here's my executive decision. Because of the nature of this game, gameplay and tutorial in this case are going to be they're going to kind of run together. I'm still gonna do like, you know, like I'm gonna call this the end of the tutorial here. All right, I'm gonna call this the end of the tutorial. I'm going to move into phase 3, which is gameplay, but I'm going to stay up in the corner of the screen and maybe commentary because it's a horror game, so I kind of have to. But here we go, phase 3, gameplay, called The Dancing Demon. Like, I get that the cartoon itself is bendy, but we created like a short strip that was called The Dancing Demon. There's going to be something around this fucking corner. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to swear. I don't mean to swear in this series. That's mostly for Janky Uncensored, but like, horror games, man. Sometimes you gotta let that fly. Defensible position. Defensible position. Did you hear breathing? Music department. Great. I'm so excited.
So first, Joey installs
Okay.
the machine over our
Okay.
heads. Then it begins to leak. 3 times last month we couldn't even get out of our department. The ink had flooded the stairwell. Joey's solution. An ink pump to drain it periodically. Now I have this ugly pump switch right in my office. People in and out all day. Thanks, Joey. Just what I needed. More distractions. These stupid cartoon songs don't write themselves, you know?
Okay. So we went crazy, installed an ink pump, and then stuff started going down. And God, I just hate this. Lighter side of hell. What is wrong with the cartoons we used to make? The lighter side of hell? Like that was a piece of music that we used for a cartoon? I don't. I want to turn on the fucking power. I'm sorry. It's just... If you turn on the power... Oh, shit! Get! Oh, okay, this isn't jump scary. This is just annoying. That's what this is. Can I, like, swing and kill them? Okay, yeah, I can. Alright. You know, this is actually something that I've talked about frequently with horror games, if you don't mind my continuing to talk. It's that you don't have to be super concerned with jump scare games, because at a certain point the jump scares just get frustrating and then it's like fine. Whenever the jump scares just get frustrating,
It may only be my
then you're
second
fine.
week working for Joey Drew, but I can already tell I'm gonna love it here. People really seem to enjoy my Alice Angel voice. Sammy says she may be as popular as Bendy someday. These past few weeks, I voiced everything from talking chairs to dancing chickens, but this is the first character I've really felt a connection with. Like she's a part of me. Alice and I, we're going places.
Cool. Weird but cool. Boris the Wolf. Whatever that piece of art is supposed to be. Bendy there. Bendy there. Sammy Lawrence. Music director. Great. Ah, okay. So this is like a booth.
Strange thing happened. I'll be up here in my booth. The band will be swinging, and suddenly Sammy Lawrence just comes marching into
Huh. Alright. Okay.
Every artistic person needs a sanctuary. Joey Drew has his, and I've got mine. To enter, you need only know my favorite song. The drum thunders in triumph. The piano delicately calls. The banjo playfully plucks. The banjo once again strums its melody. Sing my song, and my sanctuary will open to you.
Drum, piano, banjo, banjo. Okay. Ah. Shit. Okay. So you sprint down. Where's the sanctuary? Okay. This is his sanctuary? This is it.
Okay, that should do it.
Great. Oh, shit. Bendy was there. Hey, Bendy. I'm gonna trigger more of those ink monsters. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. 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 Don't be bugging me. Don't be bugging me with your junk. Yeah, I gotta take care of these too. Just the one? Alright. Alright. Turn on the pump. Sweet. So this is probably the end of this chapter. And I expect something absolutely horrifying to happen again. Oh.
Rest your head. It's time for bed.
Ooh. Some crazy dude who thinks
There
he's
we
Bendy.
go now, nice and tight. We wouldn't want our sheep roaming away now, would we? No, we wouldn't. I must admit, I am honored you came all the way down here to visit me. It almost makes what I'm about to do seem cruel. But the believers must honor their savior. I must have him notice me.
What?
Wait, you look familiar to me. That face. Not now, for our Lord is calling to us, my little sheep. The time of sacrifice is at hand. And then I will finally be freed from this prison, this inky, dark abyss I call a body. Shh. Quiet. Listen. I can hear him crawling above, crawling. Let us begin. The ritual must be completed.
Okay.
Soon he will hear me. He will set us free.
So you guys all got, like, horrifically trapped in ink. Yo, let's...
Sheep, 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 it's time for sleep. Rest your head, it's time for bed. In the morning, you may wake. Or in the morning, you'll be dead. Hear me,
Oh god.
arise from the darkness. Arise and claim my honor.
Oh, crap.
I summon you, demon. Show your face and take this tender seed. No, my lord, stay back. I am your prophet.
Okay. So, Bendy killed that dude. Alright, I think we should run. I am not going to escape from moving at this pace. Ah. Alright, new objective. Run away. To where? Guess I didn't make it. Alright. Time to run, 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 time to run. Get out. Get out.
Hello? Someone there? I know you're in here. Come out and show yourself.
Oh, crap.
Boris?
Bendy and the Ink Machine. It's a trip, guys. It's just great. It's awesome. I love it. It's peachy keen. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and move into the final phase of Janky's Lab, shall we? Phase 4, conclusion. So let's talk about my final thoughts on Bendy and the Ink Machine, Chapter 2. Well, first of all, let's pull out our sideboard and talk about some experimental bias. So what are my experimental biases against or for this game? Well, first of all, I would like to point out that I've played Chapter 1 already, as I said, and I've played Chapter 2. So I've played all there is to the game up to this point, which I think is important to note. So I have seen everything this game has to offer up until this point, so I think that gives me a slightly more informed opinion on it, which is good. I don't like jump scare horror games. I don't like horror games in general, but honestly, if I had to be honest about it, I actually prefer tension, because I feel that does the horror genre better. I feel like if you really want to be scared, you should play tension-y horror games, which admittedly this game does certainly have that atmosphere to it. But with jump scare games, it's kind of like you're scared and then it pulls away. Like the ink monsters there, as I was kind of saying a little, I don't know if I edited in any of that footage, but after you see the monsters once, you're kind of like, oh, okay, they're there. Something to note. We'll get around to that in a little bit later. But the other bias I wanted to mention was that I do love 1920s cartoons. That was like the biggest selling point for me playing this game, is I just really love those cartoons from like the 20s and 30s, like old rubber hose style animation. I love it. So that was definitely a big draw for me for this game. So definitely note that down. So those are my biases. So let's push those off to the side then and bring on pros. What are some of the pros I have for this game? Well, first of all, I think that the lore that they're setting up for the game is just beautiful. The tape recorders that you can kind of find scattered around the offices, I love that. I think it provides some backstory. I think you learn more about the characters. I definitely think that those characters are going to come up again later. I definitely think because you're hearing from them now and seeing what happened to the director of music for the cartoons, that he became like one of the ink creatures. I think that I think that's good setup for the rest of the story, which I really like. I like the lore that they're setting up for themselves. So I definitely think that's a pro for the game. The other thing that I really like is how it appears they're setting up these chapters as departments. That's sweet. So chapter 1, I know you guys didn't see it in this one, but chapter 1 is basically like the entryway to the animation studio. So there was some animation studio stuff going on, and then there was like a viewing theater and lots of animator desks all over the place. So you got the impression that it was like the animators department. Then chapter 2 was all about the music department. And actually, if I go over into chapter select, oh no, they say coming soon. But it seems like they're setting up each level of the game as a different department in the studio, which I like. I think that it's cool that they're kind of going department by department. So that, yeah, I think that that's a nice way to set up the game, especially since it's broken up into chapters like it is. And then the third thing that I really liked was the introduction of the combat system. I thought that that was an interesting addition to the game. I thought it definitely built on what already existed in the game in chapter 1. You just kind of got this extra bonus thing of, yeah, you can pick stuff up, but now you can also use it as a weapon if you need to, which I like. I think that that's a good thing to add, is a combat system to the game. So those are my pros. So let's go ahead and acknowledge those and then push them off to the side to make way for cons. So let's talk cons. Well, the first thing I want to say is that while I love the introduction of the combat system, it could probably use a little bit of tweaking. Just because whenever the ink monsters happened, whenever they came up, it was difficult to know exactly when to swing to hit them. Because it was like, if they were too far away, your swing, of course, would miss. But at a certain point, they get close enough to you that they charge you. And if you didn't time the swing like exactly right, it wouldn't actually hit because they would be too close to you for the axe to work. I don't know. I think there just needs to be like a wider hitbox for those ink monsters. If you're going to have that in there, I think it just needs to be maybe just a little bit easier to hit them while they're charging at you. Because otherwise I think they're hard to hit. Not that I ever got in a situation where I died by ink monster. So that was nice because I never actually died by ink monster. I came close a couple times, but I managed to hit enough of them that it didn't actually kill me. So yeah, that's fine. I never felt like I was in any super danger from them, which I don't know, maybe that's a con too, because I feel like maybe you should feel like you're in a little bit of danger if they're enemies in a horror game, but it's fine. The other thing I just wanted to come back around to, which again is just a problem with jump scare horror in general, is that after a while, you weren't super scared by the jump scares. Like the ink monsters, after a while, they didn't really startle me that much. And I don't know. Stuff popping out of places kind of startled me. Like whenever Bendy's little cardboard cutout would dash around the place, that was a little startling sometimes. I didn't find Sammy Wallace particularly startling. I just kind of thought I found him interesting in terms of a lore standpoint. So I wasn't really jump scared by him. It was a little terrifying the first time that Bendy jumped out of the ink, although I kind of expected something to be coming out of that ink. I didn't expect it to be that easy to reach the exit. Yeah, that's all I really have to say, is that jump scares can get kind of stale after a while. So, and again, that's sort of a problem with the genre, not specifically this game. So, all right, so those are my cons. Let's go ahead and brush those out of the side. Out of the side wayside school gets a little stranger. Let's bring on the experimental scale, shall we? All right, as you guys know, there are 5 possible options on Janky's experimental scale. We have smashing success, promising results, more trials needed, revisions required, or acid kid. I've given it some thought. I've thought about just generally how this game is set up and how much I think about like the story and the jump scare nature of it and all that. I would like to give Bendy and the Ink Machine promising results. I think that they have a pretty good horror game on their hands here. And I think as long as they continue to develop it more in the coming chapters and add more to the story and all of that, I think it will be a good addition. I think it will be a good addition to the horror genre. So, promising results. If you guys disagree, you can of course leave it in the comments down below. But for now, I'm going to consider the experiment concluded. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you can leave that like down below. Comments, positive or negative, you can leave those below as well. More than anything, I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or whenever you happen to be watching. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out. Hey friends, hope that you liked the video. If you did, you can find more of my content in these links off to the side here. And if you really enjoyed it, you can become part of the year of 1,000 subs here on the channel and use that button down below to subscribe. More than that, I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out.